I want to invite Syed Jarifuddin Ahmed for paper ID 66. Paper title IOT-based early warning system to monitor water level and flood movement to reduce loss and damage due to flood disaster in the northern part of Bangladesh. Please present your paper.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I'm Sir Jarifuddin Ahmed. I am General Secretary of an environment-based organization. I'm a General Secretary of an environment-based organization, and I want to say that this is a concept idea that I want to share, as because disaster is now a very common and has become a rapid in our country for last few months. So IoT-based early warning system to monitor water level and flood movement to reduce the loss and damages of the flood disasters in the northern part of Bangladesh. So this will be the topic that I will discuss. So Bangladesh, as we all know, the flood-prone area, there are so many rivers have been. But in the past, the flood are only mostly occurred due to the overflow of the rivers and on the monsoon season. But some recent month, we are seeing in the Southeast Asia there are flash floods. They are occurring rapidly, and so realizing that, I think early warning system IoT based should be introduced in our country on the basis of monitoring the flood disasters. So we can see, we all know that the most risky areas of flash floods are in the Sylhet region, and also in the Rangpur, Rajshahi, and in the southern part of Chittagong region. They are most likely in the risk of flash floods. So due to the if we implement the early warning system with a proper IoT based, so I think that it will help the local people to reduce the loss and damages due to the flood, and also the government and the related agencies, they can take initiative on tackling this type of disasters. So you can see these two pictures are of the Sylhet flood this year, June. Oh, sorry. And you see, this is the flood of the Pakistan, which has collapsed a bridge and also destroyed the road. A very devastating flood. And on this picture, I want to say that how the IoT base will work. It will first acknowledge the risk. They will monitor the hazards by analyzing the previous data. Those are in the server of the disaster department and others. And then they will monitor the water rainfall, river and water level, and they will take the analysis if those things can cause threat. And afterwards, if they feel that it is that the water flow will cause a flood, they will send a communication and warning, and afterwards the proper evacuation and others will be easier for the local authority and the concerned authorities. The objective of my study of this concept, which I want to implement, is to that the Bangladesh, due to the implementation of IoT-based early warning system on the flood disasters, it will reduce the loss and damages, and it also helps to collect the data, which will be helpful for our future planning, disaster management, and it will also it will give the information of the flood 5 to 6 hours before, so that the people and the authority can take proper steps to tackle the disaster. And I want to say that it is we have studied that it is 93% accurate. So on the methodology, IoT requires application layer, communication layer, and perception layer, so that it can detect the environmental hazards and also the disasters. Perception layer, it will collect the data and sense it. Communication layer, it will acquire the data and transmit to the server for the application, mobile application. Uses the received data, application will use the received data and combined with historical data and other forecasting data to make the prediction. Will also not MCU based sensor will be used to as a microcontroller. Then data collected by the sensor is sent to the online server. The data collected data will be sent to the user's smartphone or other devices, which will help the people know that there will be a disaster warning. So the detect the flood system observe various natural factors, which includes humidity, temperature, and water level and water flow level. So DST 111 digital temperature humidity sensor. It is advanced sensor module that consists of resistive humidity and temperature detection components. Float sensor, the water level is always under observation, which work by opening and closing circuits. As the water level rise and fall, it normally rests and closed portion. The circuit is incomplete with no electricity passing through the wire set. And once the water level drops, the electricity will flow and trigger the alarm. And HCSR04 ultrasonic rangefinder disaster sensor. With this, we can understand what is the distance of the water coming and turning into the flood. It will help us to detect that. You can see we are using a node MCU chip. It will work. It will collect the data, and it will measure the waterfall, raining water flow, and afterwards it will send it. It will send it to the devices or the server using Wi-Fi and other cellular system. And afterwards, the proper measurement can be taken. You can see in the pictures. So my target area is flood-prone areas like the Sylhet, Rangpur, Rajshahi, Chattogram, etc. And target people are those people living on those areas who are likely get affected. The expected outcome is to mitigate the damage of crops, fisheries, and other wells of the people, and saving the lives of the people and victims. And government and other agencies, they can take approaches and necessary steps before the floods happens. And they also IoT-based early warning system will also help others to collaboratively work on disaster management. That's all from now. Thank you. So I think, as I all know, early warning system is already operational in the cyclone, and we detect the cyclone in more than a day before. But the flood thing is early warning system not implemented in the flood. But before 6 to 7 hours, we can the flooding. The people they understand that they are gonna be flood, the water flash flood gonna happen. They only signal by phone, but if they miss by phone, then ওইখানে স্যার হলো ফ্লাড হয়ে যায় স্যার, মানে ফোনে যদি কেউ মিস করে যায় আমি বলতে পারছি না। No. I will use the IoT based with satellite, and there will be a chip there. We use the satellite, and there will be chip there that will monitor the water flow and other temperature.
You mentioned 93% accurate information.
Sir, I mentioned it on the basis of the cyclone, because in the cyclone warning system, they use this thing. So that's why I said that it is almost accurate.
Though, okay, fine, it is almost accurate, but have you measured the disaster of wealth for the rest of the 7% that may cause from the transition of the?
No, sir, I have not measured it.
So, if it is, it cost more disaster for 7%. So, how it will be effective for mass people?
If only for the 7, how it will be effective, sir? So I think that this is a concept, sir, that I think that it will 93% work, but I hope the proper and data analysis, I think it will be 100%.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Anybody else? Next presentation.